Hey there, Chris, Sandra. How are you doing? Oh, give me a second. This is the wrong window opened here. Ah, now everything fits. Everything running. How's your day treating you? Fighting with the software, right? Because I think Sandra isn't aware. Hey, Harish, how are you doing? I'm currently making a video like this whiteboard style explanation videos, and first time doing it, but it's okay, right? But then again, you need to get a hang on it first, and then of course I want it to be, yeah, let's say good looking, right? Because I want to like dig a little bit into what is BD Capital, what is Banker Stream, right? What are we doing? So just a quick explanation video there, like 4 to 5 minutes for the start. And then I'm planning to do another 1 minute video, just a very short one, which we can then use for the shilling. And then of course wanting to look into more detailed videos, as for example, detailed fund, detailed ecosystem, and then we can use this type of videos, right? Because I think they are the best way to explain things. But then again, a lot of work to actually do them, right? It's not that hard because you have the software. But then again, if because I'm recently doing like this voice overlay for the video, and then you have all this whiteboard animations, and then you need to time them also correctly, right? Because otherwise the things you're speaking won't fit to the things which are drawn in the video. So basically, just struggling with this one. Yeah, just takes a little bit time, but I think like in 1 to 2 days we should be fine, right? So how was Easter, everyone? Welcome in, Benetzi, Eric, Connor. How you all doing? How was Easter treating you? Yeah, Chris, it's, let's say, because as you all know, I'm like definitely not a social media guy, or at least I haven't been used to it, and definitely not this let's say YouTube guy. But then again, this whiteboard style videos, they help a lot. I could see it when I did put together the storyline and everything. Um, it's just amazing to look at it, right? And then I can already imagine the voice line for it. Um, so yeah, very interesting there with this whiteboard videos. But got to see the family, then broke the project car. But you broke the project car. Did you drive with your project car, or did you just damage it while doing something on the project car? Okay. They all fell out. But well, since it's a project car, I think you like to do that stuff, right? Oh, something missing here. Up. Here it is. Here it is. 20-minute job to a 1 day job. Ah, okay. This would make me angry. Like, definitely. 4 days of work for Easter. Sunday got a cold and tooth infection. Ah. Hope it's nothing serious there, Benetzi. Like anything which is hurting, for example, on the teeth. This is always very stressful. I can't stand like a headache, tooth pain, and like this whole neck area, something which I can literally not stand. I hate it. So more time off. What to do? I'm just ignoring it as long as it's not too bad, right? Yeah, definitely, definitely. Painkillers do the job for the moment, right? All right. Now I've been just saying because some people joined in already. I'm currently working on some whiteboard style explanation videos. I think you call them normally doodles. Um, here, Chris Cherry on YouTube. How you doing? How you doing, Chris? Basically doing some whiteboard explanation videos for the fundamentals, and also want to get into the fund itself with this explanation videos, because this is a very appealing way, which we can also use in many different use cases, right? Um, Maybe I will have a little sneak peek ready later today. Let's see, because we have another meeting coming up in roughly 50 minutes. But it should be all right. But it's nice. Everyone is doing fine. Everything is on the right track after Easter. We seem to have now, or it seems that we have found a solid floor now for the moment. So now again is the time to slowly grow in stages, right? Which is amazing, because it is very important that you need to find a certain floor level, and then this floor level enables you to grow again, right? So this is the time in which we can attack again, like very hard. But this is very good to see. All right. So for this week, just so everyone in here notices this too, the AMAs did get postponed one day. So basically starting today with the fundamentals, and then we will go through until Sunday, and then from there on we will go the usual schedule again with Monday, right? Just because of Easter. So we had time to cover Easter and everything. But now Easter is over again. All right, now let me take a look. Everything on YouTube is clear. This is perfect. Perfectly. Just looking forward to share this whiteboard explanation video, right? Okay. But then let me get into the fundamentals, right? Just one more thing. I will get confirmation today for an AMA at our place together with the people of Rome. We are planning on Thursday. Now let's see if we can actually hit Thursday. I'll also see if I can get my hands on another AMA in our community with another dev team there of another project. Ever Reflect it is called, if someone knows Ever Reflect. I did talk to them earlier before again, but then of course it's always a little bit hard to find the right schedule. But then again, this is also planned for this week. Some more AMAs with different communities here. This cat picture. Okay. But let's see. I will get confirmation. I should get it today, by today, so I can then announce it, right? I will set up another big round of Twitter posts with our nice fund picture, which Carrie did, which we pinned in here. This is a very nice picture to use for Reddits. And again, Reddit was also very, let's say, lower attended there during Easter. Overall market was very low attended during Easter, so basically spending some time with family there. But now we can start again. So let's dig into the fundamentals, right? We'll start straight up with the tokenomics. Tokenomics, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We have a 15% flat tax. This means every single transaction we have with our token is getting taxed with 15%. Buy, sells, transfers, it doesn't matter, right? From this 15%, the biggest chunk of it, 8%, are getting used for BUSD reflections to all the holders out there. So the way this works is our contract is collecting our own token until a certain threshold. The threshold right now is set at 150 billion tokens in total collected. Once it collected 150 billion tokens, the next cell appearing will trigger the contract cell, in which the contract will basically just exchange our token for BUSD and then start to distribute BUSD to all the holders out there automatically. The reason why it is triggered at a cell appearing is basically due to the fact that you won't want to interrupt, you would call it a green wall in the chart, right? A lot of buys, consecutive buys, you do not want to interrupt them. So basically this is the reason why you would set the trigger for the contract cell at an actual cell appearing. Once the contract sold off and this whole distribution process starts, with every transaction happening, roughly 8 to 12 holders currently will receive their BUSD rewards. So it might take some time, but then again you will receive the rewards definitely. This is always a very, very important thing here. 4% of the tax are used for marketing / our community fund. We will take a look at the fund in a second. 2% are used for manual buyback and burns. Manual, very important, so this contract is not handling the buyback and burns automatically. The team is handling the buyback and burn, so basically what we are currently doing is just buying back in smaller tranches and then gathering the tokens up. 1% is used for auto add into liquidity. Very important here, because you want to reach a healthy liquidity stage at some point. Like 10% is most of the times the way to go, in which you could say, all right, we have a healthy liquidity now. Just as a comparison, when we have been sitting at 12.5 million market cap, our liquidity was made up of roughly, let me think now, it was 400,000 in total. So it was not a very healthy stage for the liquidity at all at this market cap. This is when buys and sells appearing affect the chart way too much there. Now, currently, we have a way healthier liquidity ratio. Still not healthy enough, at least in my opinion. Then again, you do not want to have too much liquidity, because otherwise the chart would have a very hard time to actually move, right? Because buy or sells appearing won't affect the chart that much. Then again, you need a lot of liquidity. This is also very important here. This is also the reason why a very big pump, which you could, for example, see, which we had with our 150x before, or even in other projects there, it's definitely not sustainable. Like most of the times, simply for the reason of the liquidity. The liquidity cannot keep up, right? The liquidity cannot keep up if it's going like straight to the moon. It's very nice to go straight to the moon, but then again, the project would reach a very critical stage at some point, because there is basically not enough liquidity in there to cover, let's say, the bigger cells. And this is also a very important fact here. So right now, liquidity is looking way healthier than it was at 12 million market cap. And this is a very good thing for us, because a lot of people are taking a look at the liquidity. And a lot of people are not interested in investments if the liquidity ratio is too low, which is totally understandable, because a way too low liquidity ratio is basically just very unhealthy there. But they're just a quick dig into the liquidity itself, right? And again, 1% here automatically added into the liquidity of all the transactions happening. We have a max wallet size of 3%, so basically one wallet can hold 3% at max at any times. And basically, if you would try to buy more, the transaction would simply fail there because it's not possible from the contract side. All right, so this for the tokenomics. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Then again, we have many times the questions, why do we have a tax involved, right? This is the reason we need the tax. Otherwise, we would not be able to sustain the project the way we are doing at the moment. Nice buy dropping in. All right, so this for the for the tokenomics covered. So as BD Capital, what is our main goal, right? What are we trying to achieve? So basically, we are trying to achieve, I have it here on our website, we're trying to achieve passive income. Now, the first step, of course, was the token itself, Banker Stream. We have a reward of 8% in BUSD, which is very, very nice for just a passive hold. Then again, if you want to achieve passive or sustainable form of passive income, you would need, at least for a reward token, many, many different income streams, because sustaining the 8% simply from the rewards as the only income stream, this is not sustainable in the long run, right? Way too dependent on volume itself. So basically not sustainable form of income there. So we thought, as the team, as the community, the very early community, we thought, all right, what can we do to create additional income streams? We came up with the idea of our fund, community fund. So basically, what are we doing in the fund? We are taking parts of the money from the tax, which is generated from the tax, and then we will proceed to invest the money in many, many different projects out there. Not only BSC projects, you can think of it as kind of a treasury for the project itself. So we have currently, as this big blue chip investments, of course we are holding BNB obviously, because we are running ourselves on the BNB chain. Then again, we have also Ethereum, Matic, Algorand, and Bitcoin. Right? This also opens up cross-chain investments. So at the moment, I am trying to get our hands on some whitelist spots for upcoming Ethereum projects, which are very, very interesting there. So let's see how this goes in the future. The way we invest, there are some things which our investments need to have. This is long-term potential, a, let's say, considered safe team, and of course a nice community backing the project up. So basically these are three key factors we are looking for. We are not looking for active trading in the fund. Of course, if we are making a lot of profit with one particular project in there, we would always try to also dollar cost average out of this investment, just to save some profits we made there. This is just normal procedure. This is healthy. Yeah, you would need this, especially if you invest in ICOs. Then again, how are we doing this? So we are checking as a team for these different aspects of this investment case, right? If we put our check mark on it, we say, all right, this could be a fitting investment for the whale fund, we will set it up as a community poll. So basically everyone who is holding banks will be able to vote for some upcoming investments. In the end, community decides, right? What should be put into the fund, what should be left out of the fund itself, and then you can see how the things evolve in the fund in the future. The main goal with this fund, of course, is that we are investing into projects which generate passive income for us. For example, other reward tokens. For example, coins which you could stake. For example, in projects which are also giving you a cut of the fee from their ecosystem. There are all these different possibilities out there in crypto. Basically, trying to create a big treasury, which will then proceed to generate an additional source of income for every single holder out there. So in the end, so we figured out 100K in total holdings would be a very healthy way to start the distribution process. Then again, 75% of the total yield generated will be distributed to every single holder out there. The other 25% are kept for compound growth, they are kept for marketing reasons, for development costs, and all of that different stuff. And again, biggest chunk of it will be distributed in the future. Right? This takes some time. You need some trade volume to generate a lot of funds in there. But then again, we are on a very good track there. Especially if you think that we started as a 80,000 market cap pre-sale, which is basically a very, very, very low cap pre-sale. So considering where we have been coming from, we did not have this tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars ready right with the launch. Just to give a little insight there, we had for marketing purpose at the start of the token like 5K ready. We needed to invest this money very, very smart to get some traction of it, to pay off all the different costs, as for example dashboard or servers and all of that different stuff, right? So this is basically a lot coming together, but then again, worked out. We're sitting at a very healthy spot with the floor we generated for future growth, right? Especially once we are starting off, for example, the fund investments to actually distribute yield. So this is, for example, a additional income stream. We have more additional income streams coming up in the future involving our ecosystem. So for the people which are not aware, we are currently developing a private sale and crowd sale platform, which will then lead into a fully fledged out launchpad. We want to start with a private and crowd sale platform for the reason that we want to get used to all of the admin work. So basically there is a lot of administrative work to do, because we are not just allowing every single project out there to list on our private and crowd sale platform, but we will actually do some background checks, especially for the teams, just to try to create a safer place for investors themselves, right? And even for projects which are willing to go through a background check, you will most definitely see that the team is very serious about the idea there. So basically trying to create a safer place for investors. This is not rug-free, don't get me wrong here. It's not possible to create something rug-free, but then again, nice start for a possible safer place there. The fees generated in the ecosystem itself, then again, parts of it will also be additionally distributed to every single holder out there. So very, very, very interesting here also from the ecosystem side. And this development for the private sale and crowd sale platform, it is like in the getting towards the end of the development process. So we can look forward to it. It should be very soon, as the dev told me, right? It's very hard for developments to hand out a fitting time frame there, but the next 20 to 30 days, it will be ready. So this is something we can look forward to. All right. So this, just as a quick overview. Now we can take a look at the team itself, right? So basically, me, myself, you can call me just simply Paul, or people also call me Buka, yeah, whatever, doesn't matter the way you call me. I'm a trained banker from Germany. Same as AJ, is also a trained banker. Simplify is a software developer. So this is a very, very interesting mix for the team itself, right? So we bring the knowledge of traditional finance into crypto, especially for the fund itself. Also with the approach we have to crypto itself, yeah, it's kind of different compared to other dev teams sometimes. But then again, a very, very, very interesting team composition. We did further build out the team with Vimal as the software developer, sorry, not software, but the blockchain developer joining with his team. He's basically handling the private sale and crowd sale platform and everything regarding the crypto side. And then we have Moneybin, who is basically our head of PR, right? He's a very hardworking person. Don't ask where he is right now. He is feeling a little bit sick. So, of course, he needs to take some time off. Health is nothing which you should play with. So basically, he's just, because he had some issues there, right? Feeling a bit bad there. So let's just give him a break. Very important here. But basically, MB was joining as the head of PR, handling all of the marketing stuff and all of this different stuff appearing. So this from the team side. We are, or let's say, at least I am fully doxed, right? We as a team, we attended live events in Switzerland, in Zug. So nothing to worry about the safety side in our project here. We won't try to pull something shady off or something else, right? Nothing to worry about from this side. With the registration of the company, we will have AJ. Let's just see for this week, whenever it fits in his schedule, with a little AMA regarding the company registration, because we got the first update there from the company we're working with, which is also very interesting, right? So we can basically see on all ends of the project, it's getting worked on very hard at the moment. All right. Do we have any particular questions for the fundamentals, the tokenomics, the fund? We have tomorrow our fund AMA, which is basically very focused on the fund itself, right? This is basically an AMA just to try to give you guys a quick overview. And as I said before, I'm working a lot at the moment on a whiteboard style video, which is basically the nicest way, or let's say you could say the nicest way to actually explain like all of this financial stuff in a very, very easy way through a video. So basically I'm just doing all this whiteboard animations there for the video, and then I will put my voice over it. This will be like, I am aiming for 5 to 6 minutes long, and basically also covering like what is BD Capital, what are we achieving, how is like a quick overview of the stuff working, and then of course trying to set up this style of videos as well, specialized on the fund, on the ecosystem, and also for some shilling as well, because this type of videos, they get a lot of attention out there, and they are very nice, right? Because if you have someone who says, what is BD Capital, could you show me something about it, and you show him this type of video, he will be more likely to be interested, right? Because this is in itself a very easy way to explain things, and a very appealing way as a video format there. Okay. Need to cough. Give me a second. Is it safe? I will hit you up, Chris, in right after the AMA. Need to talk to AJ first, right? Because I will be talking to him anyways in like roughly half an hour. I have another meeting scheduled there. So basically then I can tell you. Yeah, definitely. Tanel, I'm glad we are on number 2 on Google search now. Thanks, who's responsible. Yeah, this is basically a lot of, let's not just say a lot of work, but then again, you need to have the SEO in place, which Simplify and AJ handled a bit. And then, of course, you also need to have like these keywords. On the more websites the keywords are appearing, like for example BD Capital, yeah, all of that different stuff, the better you will rank, right? Or the more links you have on different websites out there, the better it is for the ranking. So it is a kind of a longer process there. This is also the reason why something like a press release, which we also are looking for, or not for, we had a press release already, but I think it's a good idea to have another one following up the press release, so it helps the ranking a lot, right? Because this press release is like what was the last one? I think it was 500 sources, something like this, including Yahoo and Bloomberg and all of that different stuff. So this helps definitely a lot with the ranking itself. Take some time. This is the struggle with IT, right? Then also, let's see if he is finished today. As one said, he will finish the dark theme for the website because, as I said before, this is also bothering me if I'm working, for example, with a website in darker times. This is just, very, very, very good for us to have the dark theme implemented. Also with some translations in different languages there. So basically, we are also setting up different languages on the website so we can, let's say, tackle different speaking countries, for example, China, yeah, stuff like this. And we're just about to get rid of one whale. 250 billion should be better again. Yeah, definitely. This is something I also said before. Seems like we found the floor at the moment, which is very important. You need to find a certain floor level, and then we are ready to grow again, right? This is just a normal process. Just keep in mind, right? People made a lot of profit with us. It was not only one BNB into 5 BNB, which leads to 4 BNB in profit, right? It was basically if you attended the pre-sale, we did make out of 1 BNB in the pre-sale 150 BNB at the all-time high. So people made a lot of profit with us. Of course, people are taking the profit, right? This is normal. And this is something which is needed to happen, right? You need this for the future growth. Otherwise, imagine it the other way around, right? Imagine it's someone sitting there with the trigger finger ready on the sell button because he made enough profit already. He just wants to sell off. So basically, he's watching us. Now, then imagine him selling again, but not today, but then when we hit 10 million again, for example. This would have also very, very heavy impact, right? Especially since this sell would be way bigger at this time. So this would have way more impact there on our chart. We had this stuff happening before, so yeah. Well, basically 150x up, then 10x down, still 15x up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but if you people just tend to underestimate these numbers, right? If you had, like, let's say $5,000 invested, you would still be sitting on $75,000, which is a lot. This is a lot of money, right? And we had some people, I talked to some people, some bigger people or bigger holders in our community. They said, hey, this was basically life-changing for me because the profit we generated for them with the pump was life-changing money for them, right? They were able to pay off debt, they were able to pay off medical bills or some different stuff, right? In which life just forces you to take the money. So definitely don't underestimate this. Also the numbers, right? If you take like just a quick scoop over the chart, if you say like, not looking good, nah, you need to take a deeper look, right? You need to take a deeper look. You cannot enable growth also from the liquidity side, right? You cannot just have this straight pump upwards. This is not sustainable. You will most likely face a very, very, very hard crash at some point. This is normal, especially if you are in the range not only of 10x, but of 150x, right? This is a lot of movement which was done. Don't underestimate these numbers. And I can tell you, we have a lot of very early people which attended private sale or pre-sale, right? They are still super active in this community. They are still, they love the idea. Maybe someone sold a little bit here and there, DCA'd a little bit out, which is totally fine, right? This is totally normal to happen. But then again, What? Benetzi did put something in. I like this. You are farming Twitter like crazy, Benetzi. This is something which I see a lot from you. You're just grinding this Twitter post. I love to see it, right? Love to see it, can tell you. All right. Now, but then again, seems like we found a solid floor level here, which enables us to grow again, right? Then again, market, let's say the macro market is not looking very, very nice, right? The overall volume, for example, for Bitcoin trading is very low at the moment. So we have not a lot of people who are currently pumping money into altcoins. This is also something you would need to take notice of. And then again, don't forget we are on crypto, right? In 1 week you could sit at, let's say, minus 40% of your investment. The next week you could sit at plus 200% in your investments, right? We're still in crypto, very volatile here. But then again, can tell you the team is doing a lot to enable the future growth again. We did it before, there's no way of stopping us again. Just if you compare some different charts out there, you will always see a bigger pump coming up, the correction coming in after. The bigger the pump is, the bigger the correction is afterwards. This is just a normal process. And then again, at some point, you will reach a stage in which you are enabled to grow again, right? Can tell you, we had some very painful wallets to get rid of. Basically, just as an example, there were 2 wallets which held in total 40 trillion. I think it was a little bit more than 40 trillion tokens in total. And they basically started to DCA out like shortly before the all-time high. Shortly before that, so during the pump itself. This 40 trillion was more than 1 million worth of holdings in total, right? So they DCA'd out. This was the previous very big sell-off we had. Basically, I think it was in total 24 trillion dumped at once in one go from 2 wallets, which was basically the rest. They are out completely. But then again, these are things which happen, right? You will have this very, very large wallets, which are putting constant sell pressure on the chart, and the buy pressure not able to keep up with the sell pressure, which is very hard for the chart, right? Not for the project. It's not affecting us as a project in itself. But then again, for the chart itself, it's very hard to keep up with it. But then at some point, the sell pressure is gone, right? We got rid of it now, got rid of some other sell pressure there. So now I think is also again the time to grow. Just need to find this more stable spot again, which enables you to grow again, right? Let's just, where is it? There it is. Let's do it this way. Also something else here. This was something Moonrock tweeted, right? Token called FPS. Like nothing was happening there. Very long consolidation stage here, right? You are looking from basically most of the year here, then FOMO triggered in, right? This is again something which is very important here. Just as a quick example, but let's just take a look here. Wrong direction. Let's do it this way. So basically, this was after launch, right? You can see it here. This was the pre-sale, as I said before, roughly 80k as the starting market cap. Got some decent buy pressure here. The all-time high here right after the pre-sale was at, I think, roughly 400,000 in total. Then we had the sell-off after our let's say pre-sale, and as you can see, the sell pressure was very high again. It took us down. It was basically Like it was very, very near our pre-sale level. I can tell you, it was very near towards our pre-sale price. Then we got some buy pressure here again, right? This is just, as you can see, the more I move the chart to the right side, the smaller this appears again. More buy pressure here. Then again, as you can see here, big dump here again, which took us again nearly down to the pre-sale level. This is something which you need to deal of. This is something which I was talking about. Whenever you have this very big pumps here, right? Then you will see a long stage of consolidation. Sometimes it will also reach very critical levels, as we had here, because we had been dipping down towards our pre-sale price, right? So this was basically a very, very big sell pressure we had going on here. But then again, you see at some point, most of the sell pressure was gone, as you can see here. Very, very low volume trading days here. And then we had the buy pressure coming in again. Right, this is also the time in which the people wake up again, in which the chat shows up like 4,000 messages every single day. This just is the way crypto goes, right? And then you see here a lot of buy pressure coming in. I can tell you we did list around here, roughly here on Coingecko, shortly afterwards fully on CMC. So basically it was not a lot of impact there, right? Then again, did reach this level. I can tell you we had here a dump of 30,000 in one go. Also a seller, right? He said to himself, whenever this token is listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap fully and the buy pressure is there, then I will dump. He did, right? Nothing wrong about it. Basically, he did dump here. Again, a consolidation process, and then this is the time in which we had this very, very big run up. And as you can see, this whole time before this big run, this seems like nothing, right? Because it's just very, very less impact going on here. Then we had this very, very, very big pump here. Even coming to a bigger pump here, right? So as you can see, this was a huge pump we had. Do not underestimate it. And as you can see, we had some sells going on there, right? At some points. But again, most of the people kept their tokens. They took some profit, but most of the people kept the tokens. And this did lead to basically this issue we had here, right? An even bigger pump, sitting at 12.5 million, with not a very healthy liquidity in total. And then the sell pressure came in, right? There were some bigger sells triggering the sell pressure, talking about 25k sells in total in one go, and different stuff like this, which did lead to this part here, right? This was a pretty big dump here in one go. Then again, recovery try here, but then you can see the sell pressure, this constant sell pressure, because as I told you before, we had huge wallets. We are very, very, let's say, happy about the fact that they did dollar cost average out throughout all of this stage, right? So basically, starting somewhere here, this big wallet started to DCA out, which did lead to constant sell pressure, right? As you can see, every attempt of getting back with some buy pressure in here, at least from the chart side, it was sold off again. And this was like the main problem. As you can see here, this resistance level was pretty big. It was as if someone did set, let's say, a sell order, right? This is basically the way this would look. As if someone did set a sell order at a certain price here, which was triggered whenever we did reach the price, like very roughly here. And you can see this going on over time, and then with this bigger dump, as I said before, this was 24 trillion in total dumped in one go, or let's say not in one go, but through different cells popping in basically in one go, which did lead to this bigger dump here. and then again sitting again here. But as you can see right now, very, very little sell pressure going on, right? Very little sell pressure going on, which is very, very important. Very important for the future growth. Also, the liquidity part looks very, very good for us. This is also very important. So just as a little bit of insight there for the chart itself, right? Just explaining some little things there. Then of course don't forget the the overall market, right? Like at the time that our chart did struggle, then did happen the whole Ukraine thing, which did not help crypto overall. So there were a lot of different factors coming in together, which did lead to this overall stage we are sitting on at the moment. But same time, we gained many, many new wallets instead of 2 leaving wallets. And for them, the floor is here, not in pre-sale value. Exactly, exactly, right? This is something which is also, which needs to be said. We did get many, many different wallets. And even in stages in which crypto in total is not very, very, let's say, interesting for many people out there, right? The overall volume in crypto is very, very low. And then again, nothing which could stop us. Can tell you, when we launched here, the BNB price was sitting at, I think, if I remember correctly, 470, 480, something like this. So basically, throughout this whole stage, we had the project going on. BNB was basically dumping on us, which did lead by itself to a let's say decreasing chart, because we are basically paired with BNB directly. And then at this stage, of course, critical liquidity status, yeah. Can tell you, on this big pump we had going on, I had some people writing to me, hey, the liquidity is reaching a very critical stage now, right? And they were right. Yeah, because with this very, very big straight up to the north pump, which would lead to the 150x in total, our liquidity was not looking very, very nice for a project, right? Now we're looking way better again, right? Way better. Way, 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 way better. And in this process, basically the market dumping on us, BNB dumping on us, Ukraine war happening, very low volume overall. Right now is the important time to find the floor. We gained a lot of new wallets in this process, which is very, very good. And then you will see, once we are able to convert this thing here into more buy pressure coming in, you will see a big change happening. Exactly, exactly. Right. Just imagine these two wallets keeping the 24 trillion here at this stage, and we found our floor, let's say at this level. Then we started pumping again, and then the 24 trillion started to DCA out again, just putting again constant sell pressure on the chart, right? I can say from my standpoint, I'm happy. It's out. It's bad for us overall, right? But then again, it is way better for us at the moment. Will liquidity be better when we reach again in 12 million? Yes, yes, definitely. Can tell you. Already from this stage now. So basically we have 242 pooled BNB in our liquidity, right? If I tell you we had like roughly 440 BNB pooled in the liquidity at the stage of 12.5 million, most of the people would not believe me, but this is the way it was. Which is very bad. Which is very bad, I can tell you. But this is the main issue. Sorry, did mute myself there. But this is the main issue you face if you launch a very, very low cap pre-sale, which then starts to pump very hard, like this very, very hard in one go. This is the main issue here. healthy liquidity and holders count. After some utilities released, a good daily volume is nice too. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is also something which we want to achieve, right? It's not easy, especially at this market stages. I know there are projects out there which have like constant volume of, let's say, 50,000 plus upwards. But then again, also take the thing and notice that they launch with way different conditions sometimes, right? This is not an excuse. This is simply a fact that simply with the pre-sale they generated a lot of money, which we didn't. We did not. Can tell you, we did not. So yeah. I was very surprised how many people are watching this token quietly. When we had this recent massive sell-off, suddenly there were so many buys to eat it up. There's a lot of people not in chat but follow. Yeah, I can tell you, there are a lot of people who are not in the chat at all. Right? There are a lot of people. Because they basically don't use Telegram. It's as simple as that. Some people only use Reddit. Some people only use normally Discord. This is just the way it is. It is, right? Which is very, very nice to see. Very nice to see. And again, I can assure you, we are working on the background, right? I can tell you in this whole process after the pre-sale, right? If we watch this, the pre-sale now, let's just go back there. So back to the pre-sale basically. We had a lot of stuff happening, a lot of marketing happening. Then again, as I said before, marketing won't change anything with just one go, right? There's no magic button for the chart. And we lost many people here. Many people sold big amounts of tokens in this process. And then this happened, and then this happened. They saw this happening, right? So they basically bought back in because they said, hey, can make some money here. And this is also that there are a lot of eyes watching us, can tell you. A lot of eyes watching us. Yes, Jarvis. Yes, Jarvis. We are currently preparing, especially, for example, for China. But then you need, let's say, this well done Chinese translation, for example, of the website. Then you need to have the right influencers in place. So yes, we have it planned. But this is also something which is not done easily. So basically, we are talking to, let's say, different speaking people, for example, through DeepL, right? Which is a translation tool. But this is not making the whole process easier, right? And then again, if you are targeting, let's say, for example, China, like the Chinese community, then you need to have everything in place for the Chinese community. You need to have the website translated and all of that different stuff. But then again, of course, this is something we want to do or planning on doing. What, Scott? I read it like a whale sale was incoming. No. No. Nothing to worry here, Scott. Nothing to worry. It's just basically, we had been taking a look at the whole process happening, right? What was happening in this whole process, that we had some very, very big wallets which DCA'd out or even dumped out afterwards. So just showing how the things are happening, right? But then again, right, nothing to be like mad about. For example, this whale who was basically holding 2 wallets there with 40 trillion in total. He DCA'd out, like in this whole go here. It was a lot of money drained out of the project, but then again, combined it was more than 1 million in total holdings, right? And he decided to DCA out over time, and then he decided in this very, very big sell-off we had here, he decided to get rid of the 24 trillion tokens left over in one go. Right, now he's out. It did hurt us. Of course it did hurt us. But then again, he's out now. This is also important. No more sell pressure coming from this side. Very important there. Very important. Pink sale and early whales make a hard start for a utility token. Yeah, just keep this in mind, right? We were a low cap pre-sale. So basically, if you found this project early enough and gave this project your trust early enough, you would be able to gather huge amounts of tokens with, let's say, considerable amounts of money, right? And this profits we generated, as I said before, a 150x, also is life-changing money for some people out there with 100k, 50k, 20k, 200k, right? If you see this popping up in your wallet and you're not used to have this amounts of gains, or if you have some stuff in your real life which you are struggling with anyways, then of course you will take the money out, right? Nothing to like blame any whale or someone who was basically just lucky enough to be a early holder. But then again, from the project side, of course, it is very important that we get rid of them at some stage, right? Just imagine the dump of 24 trillion tokens if we reach 20 million market cap. Just imagine the dump of happening there, right? So I would rather have it this way, shake them out through a painful, longer period of time, which is very painful, of course, but then again, you are getting rid of them. We are accumulating more and more holders. We get more and more smaller holders. So basically, the tokens spread throughout more holders out there, which is very, very nice. Nice to see, right? Because this is for the project way healthier, a way healthier stage we are sitting on right now than we have been sitting on at the all-time high. It was nice to sit on 12.5 million, of course, right? But then again, keep in mind, 450 BNB, yeah, like roughly 450 BNB in total for the liquidity pooled. Right now we have 242 BNB pooled, right? So the liquidity pool overall was at a very critical stage. And then we had very, very big pre-sale and early holders there. Was not easy, right? Glad they DCA'd out mostly except at the end. Yeah, right. But then again, I'm just happy that this constant sell pressure period was not or is not happening any longer. Right? This is very very important. You need to shake them out, otherwise you have no room to grow. And I can tell you also from the liquidity side, this is way better for us, right? Rather get it in stages, like get a little pump up, get a little correction in there, make the liquidity healthy, then a little pump up again. But it's very nice to have this straightforward, pretty, very, very big pumps, of course, right? This is exciting, this is nice, but then again, also will end in a very critical stage for the project itself. Will the tokenomics be in effect post at SEX listings? Yes. You can think of it this way, Jarvis. If we are listing on a exchange, right? And they are, for example, not willing to or not able to put up our tokenomics completely, but they are, for example, able to hand out reflections in our own token. So basically, what happens is the volume of the exchange will be reflected in our own token, but only the holders which bought through the exchange will receive the reflection in our own token. All the volume from the DeFi side, from the DEX side, like decentralized side, will be reflecting BUSD. If you have an exchange which is willing to put up like this normal tokenomics, then it will account for everyone there. But then again, this is something which you need to diversify. Tokenomics, and this is also something which we want to do, right? We will or want to have most likely full tokenomics in place, even for the exchange listings. The good side of it is that we can take their place at the top of food chain. Yes, definitely. It's interesting what EGC did with yes. It was I think this Diggy thingy was the most recent listing there, and I think they even get reflections into their buyback and burn, which the people are very excited about. I am very excited about it, because this helps overall. So we are looking to get on centralized exchanges, even if they don't support the tokenomics. People can just buy and sell the token on a not like they don't support the tokenomics, but if you're taking a look at the bigger ones, right? Let's just say, for example, Bitmart or something like this, right? This well-known exchanges there. If they tell us, all right, we would support reflections in your own token. So there is still a tax applied, a reflection applied, right? And it is not that you could buy the token completely tax-free through the exchange, then we would say yes. Otherwise, we don't think it would be a good idea, because if you have the possibility to buy the token completely tax-free, you would just go and buy it through the exchange, right? And this volume generated there would not help anyone. Yeah, depends on the exchange itself there, Scott. Some smaller exchanges already implement full tokenomics, but then again, some exchanges don't implement any tokenomics at all, as for example Binance. Then you have exchanges which are supporting, let's say, parts of the tokenomics. Yeah, very, very different. Very, very different. Because the main problem they face is basically that an exchange has their own liquidity pool, right? So basically it is the same as PancakeSwap. They will get some tokens, they will get money to make up the liquidity, and then they manage the liquidity themselves, right? It's basically the liquidity pool which we have on PancakeSwap. The same thing going on again on an exchange. A lot of copycat tokens getting launched daily with similar tokenomics. So what are future plans to stay ahead of them in terms of reaching out to masses and increasing the investor? Very nice question there, Jarvis. Very nice question. So basically, we are not, or we do not want to rely on our tokenomics only, right? This is the reason why we built our fund, which generates another income source for us. So we are basically, as a community, running a treasury. With this treasury, we are investing in many, many different projects out there, right? As for example, Moonrock, as for example, Moon, Safe Moon, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Matic, yes, just to tell you about some investments we did already. These investments, they generate passive income for us as well, as for example Evergrowcoin in BUSD, as for example Moonrock through reflection in their own token and staking. And we will then once we reach a certain stage with the fund, which will be most likely 100K in total holdings, we will then start to distribute 75% of the yield generated, which is a big chunk, right? A big chunk, and which is a income source, the same income source you could think of, for example, as the BUSD, but this income source is completely independent of our token and our trade volume. This is a very important fact here. So basically, this fund is able to generate yield even if we have very low volume trading, for example, right? So this is something which is very, very unique in our token. Then, of course, adding our ecosystem on top with a private sale and crowd sale platform, or starting off with these platforms and then moving this into Launchpad itself. And we will always distribute cut of the fees which we take from projects so they can work with us, and then distribute this cut of the fees again. So basically what we are doing is building up many, many different sources of income for our holders. And this is the very interesting part here, right? If you're big enough, you could probably negotiate similar to what EGZ did. Yeah, always depends also on your business, right? About, well, my chat is jumping around. Oh, wait, I will go through one question after the other. Before I was able to join the voice chat, I saw someone say something about an update on incorporation. Yes, we received an update last week, which was basically a 30-page update for the tax side and everything. But basically, I will schedule something with AJ, so he can give you this week most likely a update, a complete ARMA update, right, for the company registration. What is going on with my chat? Has the team decided what the fund payout currency will be? It will most likely either be BNB or BUSD, because this is the easiest way to do so. But definitely, because it doesn't matter in the end, at least from our side, so we will set it up as a poll as well. So basically the community can decide. Another way to do so would be, for example, to pay out for every chain we are invested in, the blue chip of this chain. So for example, BNB, Ethereum, Matic, right? This would also be a good idea there. Get those polls going. Yes, one step after the next, right? Be happy with either. Yeah. As I said, let's say I would say, from the reflection side, doesn't matter, right? Oh, my chat is jumping around. Yes, now we have it here. Only just jumped. Oh, wait here. Same, but would choose BUSD personally to lock it in. Yeah, I would say simply BUSD is the safest form of reflection, because this has like no volatility to it, right? Because otherwise you might be forced to manage your reflections as well. BUSD is just simply the easiest way to reflect, or let's say distribute in the end, or let's say a stable token in itself. It could be USDT, it could be BUSD, it doesn't matter at all, but it should be or if you're thinking of this side, it should be a stable token, because this is making the whole management side way easier for the holders. This is the main reason we did choose BUSD, right? We could even reflect in BNB, for example. Yeah, in the end, it doesn't matter. But then again, BNB is still like kind of volatile, right? Yeah, exactly, Sandra. Because it's a stable token. You can just leave it there. It won't be affected like at all. Now let me see. Balboa had something here. Only just jumped on. Does this mean that a reflection-based tokenomics, BUSD or banks, will be prerequisite for CEX listing? Now let me let me just quickly get the translator up. Prerequisite. There. For all, okay, prerequisite. No, 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 no. It's no prerequisite, right? It is no problem about the BUSD part. But then again, some exchanges say we can't put in tokenomics with reflections in BUSD. We will only put in tokenomics as, for example, in your own token. Or let's say, for example, Binance, they won't take in your tokenomics. They won't do that, right? But then you would need to decide as a community, as a project, is it then again still worth it? Because they can basically just trade it tax-free, brings a lot of volume, but in the end, this volume doesn't affect us at all, right? Just always these things you need to consider. Here, why not plan community buy event with whatever amount one can afford and comfortable to put in? Can be a fun event. I think so. I like the idea, right? Because it's a fun idea, as you say. It's a fun event. Then again, I think you just need to think of the team side, right? It's just like we can't organize a organized pump in our project, right? We had this going on before with some people organizing such things already, and then people jumping in. It was a lot of fun. Even we did jump in, right? As that, let's say, the team privately, just we just go and buy more of the token itself, but we can't do organize pump. But then again, I'm not saying this is a bad idea. No, we did it before. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, can tell you. And I have amounts saved, especially for such reasons, right? As Pinetzi said, to kill another dip, and all of that different stuff. Yes, I'm remembering it, AJ. Almost Flame Bull, sorry. Almost. Because I have another meeting coming up. As you all know, I'm for the meeting side, I'm usually running like 10 to 15 minutes late, so nothing bad about it. It's as soon as AJ starts to drop into the chat and tells me, hey, remember this? Yeah, then it's time, right? I'm always getting carried away. Whoops, Salah. Didn't want to do this. Wait, my chat is jumping around. I'm the guy for the bad moods. Yeah, exactly, Rob. This is the reason why we are not like deeply into, let's say, a exchange listing which has no effect on the real volume overall, right? Yeah, just a hard path, right? Because this is also something which we initially didn't want. There are some exchanges there which do full tokenomics, which are very interesting, right? Already reached out to them, already talking to them. So yes, there are some out there, but then again, most likely we would at least have some form of tokenomics implemented, right? If they are not able, for example, to do the USD reflections for whatever reason, because the exchange is not set up to do it this way, then at least we would want to have a reflection in our own token, right? This would mean that we would this volume appearing on the CEX would not get into the contract cell itself for the BUSD reflections, but then again, people would still receive tokens on top, same as, for example, with staking or something else like. And if they want to cash in the passive income they generate, then they can just simply proceed to sell the reflections of their own token, right? So this would be a way in which I would say, hey, this is okay. But then again, without any tokenomics, I wouldn't be a big fan either, right? I wouldn't be a big fan either. Let's say, except for Binance. But Binance, then again, as I said many times before, this is another level, right? Binance listing is not simply done. Can tell you, they have a very, very big list of checks you need to have. But exactly, Balboa, right? Passive income is like our philosophy. It's the way, the reason why we founded. If we wanted to have a traded token, which is actively traded by a lot of different people, then we would have like no tax at all involved, because this would be the best way to do so. And then it doesn't matter for the tokenomic side, right? But then again, this is like the main reason we want to have. So at least some form of tokenomics is needed. But then again, I can tell you, like the bigger ones, for example, Bitmart, L-Bank, yeah, they support tokenomics. So this is a good news for us. All right. Was quite a nice AMA today. Be sure to hop in tomorrow's fund AMA, right? And also be sure, so as I said before, most likely Thursday, I'm still waiting for the confirmation in which Rome will join us for an AMA. So keep your hard questions for Rome there. I did gather some already, because Rome is a rather big project, which they want to launch tied to a real company. So definitely. And also we'll talk to AJ about a company registration AMA in which we can have a update going on, right? With bigger checks you mentioned, we need registration. Yes. Definitely. It's needed. But I can also tell you, so right now, if you're listing on an exchange, a lot of times tokens or projects are not seeing the volume surge they wanted to see with the exchange listing. So it's even for exchange listings, like at the moment, for exposure, of course, yeah, nothing to say about it. It's great. Long term, you will have a big effect coming from exchange listings, but then again, like at this current timing, not the perfect timing. So this is more in our favor at the moment, because we are still working on the company registration, as you all know, in Switzerland. All right. So before AJ drives over to my house to remind me of the meeting, I will end today's AMA. Was very nice to have all of you in here. All the questions, suggestions, right? Some pretty nice stuff I saw in here. Be sure to tune in for tomorrow for the fund AMA. Giving a little bit of the update side from the investments, also for upcoming stuff. Stuff which we are checking out at the moment, which we are planning. Always 19 UTC for our schedules. Always 19 UTC throughout the whole week. You have a little typo in there. AJ. Okay, but then again, thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to hop in tomorrow's AMA. I hope I am finished with the whiteboard video for the fundamentals with the voiceover and all of the animations to share it with you guys. And then again, I would say a big thank you for participating. And as I said before, seems like we have a stable floor now. So time to pump, right? Time to pump again. And even if the market is in bad conditions, right? We had this 150x in a very bad market overall. Now just with the dump of the big increase we had was Ukraine coming on top with all of the stuff involved with Ukraine. So we want to work towards a new pump coming in. So let's do it, people, right? Let's get the green candles in this market. This is what we want to see. All right, people. Thank you all. Thank you all for participating, and we will hear each other again tomorrow, right? All right. Bye-bye, people.